everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for September 11th. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and with me today is Scally. How you doing, Scally?
Hello. I'm doing well. Excited to be here. Had 2 minutes to get ready. Managed to, get my contacts in, go to the bathroom. All done. All good.
Yeah, luckily here on the update, if you take longer than, I guess, 10 seconds, you're still welcome.
Oh, look at that. That's good.
Yeah.
What a nice policy.
We are here to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 24 live feeds. It was day 67 in the house. And, I mean, their freaking sleep schedule is so off at this point that yesterday half of the update was from the morning of day 67, and today it's basically half of today's update is from the morning of day 68. I'm giving you the second half and the first half of a day instead of a full day because they can't stop being awake.
Yeah, are they even asleep yet? They are constantly awake. They stay up way too late. Now it's even let's all watch the sunrise. No, go to bed. Please.
Yeah, get out of here. So you're not even doing anything. Spend 8 hours almost doing things, and then one little nugget in there is something. Oh, but you're not going to know when.
Yep, exactly. Don't walk away because something might happen, but no.
We're going to update you on what happened yesterday here. Of course, Monty's the HOH. He nominated Britney and Alyssa. The intent was to take out, I believe, Alyssa or Britney, although he certainly was leaning, starting to potentially lean more toward taking out Britney. However, veto competition happened. Monty was unable to compete as he did not get ready in time. And Britney ended up winning the power veto. And we talked about this yesterday. Britney had a conversation with Taylor. They hashed things out. They said, we need to get Turner on the block. Monty, in the meantime, talked to Turner. He said, you're not going on the block. We just need to figure out which of Alyssa or Taylor should stay. Turner was like, well, I think that Alyssa should stay and Taylor should go. And Monty was like, I think that Taylor should stay and Alyssa should go. And Turner said, okay.
Yeah, look at that. I really thought that this might take a little bit more convincing. I thought they very clearly have one person who is better for each of their games, not being the same person in common. But Turner, I would say, has been pretty easy to convince most of the season, and that has followed all the way up until the final 5.
Yep. I mean, he's, Turner, he's just gonna follow someone's lead. That's really been the game. And Monty kind of inherited his contract. He's sort of like Zeth from the Stormlight Archives. Just kind of like, I got to do it. It's my truth. So Monty's gonna talk to Britney. We're gonna get into some new content here, new territory. Long conversation with Britney where now that she's talked to Taylor, she knows a little bit more about what's been said about her. She is going to tell Monty that everything that Turner is saying about her is basically a lie. She never proposed a final 2 with him, all of this stuff. She gives him the pitch of why Turner should go up and Turner should go home. Monty, in response, is like, literally just yesterday, you told me that it was good for me to have Turner in the game because Turner and Taylor would be going after each other next week. And she's like, that was different. You need to get Turner out because he's a good competitor and he's going to win this game. And jury management wise, don't think it's a good call to keep Turner around. That's all I'm going to say about that. And Monty's like, okay, Terrence. This conversation goes very poorly for Britney. It does the exact opposite of what she wants it to do. He's going to complain to the cameras afterward about it. Can't believe she's threatening to come after me, threatening with jury vote and wanting Taylor to stay. He says to the cameras, I'm putting up Taylor. I'm evicting Alyssa. That's the end of it.
Yeah, Britney would probably do better just in isolation, only coming out for the comps, like really struggles in these conversations. Not a good liar, can't keep her information straight, constantly just like denying stuff that everyone knows to be true. Britney has always been messy, but I feel like with so few people in the house, there's even more of a spotlight on it, and people are just not really taking anything she says of value.
Yeah, it's clear to me that she doesn't understand what made her campaigning last week almost effective, which is that she was campaigning against Michael, right? And because she was doing that, people felt like, oh, well, Michael doesn't have Britney. Britney's somewhere else. That changes the dynamics of where I see the house. If Britney had gone to Monty and been like, Monty, I'm telling you, I know you're going to be tempted. You cannot put Turner on the block. You can't do it. You can't let Turner go. I know you're going to probably want to target Turner. I know that's the smart, easy thing to do, probably in your eyes. But listen, hear me out. You shouldn't do it. Taylor needs to go. Then he would have been like, oh my God, hold on. I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Britney is always going to struggle. I can't see a world in which she has too many effective conversations. Like maybe like one good conversation is the most you're going to get out of Britney a day, and I think that probably hit the quota. And from then on, it's just a mess.
Yeah, it's if you're bad at the game and you know it, just do the opposite of what you want, and
There we go.
then by doing the opposite, you might end up with the thing you want. Why not? Monty's going to talk to Taylor. This is really the primary conversation of the day, because it's Taylor's big shot to kind of prevent this from happening. Of course, she was late to the party here. Monty has already talked to Turner. That's not great. He's now also already talked to Britney, so she doesn't have the leg up there anyway, or either. Monty is going to let Taylor know right away. Look, I want Alyssa gone. Alyssa is the target. Obviously, I need to choose between you and Turner, who to put up. And let me tell you, he goes through the entire conversation. Monty's going to spend the whole day rehashing the conversation with Britney over and over. It's very annoying because it was an annoying conversation to begin with. He's going to spend like 20 minutes telling her about the conversation with Britney. I'm not feeling it with Britney, he says. I want Alyssa out. I don't want Turner out. Even if I were to put Turner up, I would not want him to go. Taylor, though, is trying to pitch for Turner to go, giving a similar pitch to the one that Britney made, because they did come up with it together, that Turner should go. He's good at comps. He's going to win this game. He's going to run away with it. Monty says again, I don't want Turner to go. If you want to take a shot at Turner next week, go ahead. Be my guest. Blase, blase, blah. This, that, and the third. But I don't want to feel like I have to win the veto next week. So I want Turner here so that I can rely on him winning the veto. I can rely on you winning the veto. And I don't have to be worried about Britney winning the veto. So that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. And Taylor tries. She makes some pitches, even saying like, I've been on the block 4 times on eviction night. Turner never had to do this. And like, there are some good arguments. I just think they're coming too late, and like, they're not the best. They could be better and a little stronger, unfortunately. So not pushing hard enough, not giving those guarantees of like, I will vote however you want. I know that you are worried that should Turner end up on the block, myself and Britney will ultimately vote him out against your wishes, but I swear to you, I would never do that, etc., etc. She's not giving those assurances, which is a big problem.
Yeah. Monty's gonna say, listen, I know you're worried, I know you're concerned, but don't worry, I will take you to the final 2 over Turner. I will pick you over Turner. He goes, oh, okay, as long as you understand, he will take this game if he gets there. It's his game. He's like, yes, but it has to be you on the block. She's like, I just don't understand. Like, if you're gonna bring me to final 2, why am I going on the block and not Turner? What if Britney decides to vote me out? Monty's like, she literally just spent an hour trying to convince me to keep you. Like, she doesn't want to vote you out. And Turner's also not going to vote you out. And even if he does, I'll break the tie. He'll stay. It doesn't. You're safe. It's Britney has no reason to keep Alyssa in this game. And I know how much, I know how much you want Turner out. I don't want to be tempting you with anything. I would sooner believe that you would take the shot at Turner than he would take the shot at you. So that's why I feel like it's got to be you on the block.
Yeah, it's tough. Like Taylor, I get it. I have also learned to not trust a single person in this house. Like, this is a house that I do not trust to do the things in their best interest. I do not trust to do the things that they say they are going to, even one day later, let alone 5 or 6. So I get it. But from Monty's perspective, it definitely makes more sense. It ultimately wanting to keep them both in the house. I think that he can trust the vote to go in his favor this way rather than putting up Turner.
Yeah, I feel like in addition to the argument you're making, which is you're saying that Taylor should make, which I would also like her to make. Like, look, you can trust me. You know I wouldn't betray you. I will vote to keep Turner. I promise. I think that Taylor really needs to play on the instability of Britney more as well, right? Like the pitch that I would want to make is, okay, you're saying that Britney has no reason to keep Alyssa, but this is Britney we're talking about, Monty. This is Britney we're talking about. If I'm up on that block, what's to prevent Britney from going to Turner and saying, look, Turner, why would you vote out Alyssa, who is loyal to you, for instead of Taylor, who is loyal to Monty? Britney has no other option here anyway, right? Why would she go into the Final Four knowing that both Turner and Monty are coming for her? Why wouldn't she try to make a deal with Turner? Again, she's already tried to in the past. She goes to Turner and says, hey, look, you and me, we vote out Taylor, we keep Alyssa, and then all 3 of us are against Monty in the Final Four. He can't even win HOH. So all we need to do is beat him in the veto. And then you're in the final 3 with me, who can't win a single jury vote, and Alyssa, who would take you and you could also beat, and you're the favorite to win that comp anyway. It's a really great path to the end for Turner. And I know you think he's loyal, but think about the people he has been able to betray in the past. Kyle, Michael, like, he is willing to take the shots that he needs to get further in the game. And if he is presented with that kind of pitch, why wouldn't he take it? It's a way better path than going to the end with you when, you could definitely beat him. There's at least a chance, right? I feel like I would genuinely be worried about that if I was Monty. That would be literally my worst fear, and it would be the reason why I would hesitate to keep Turner. And if it's laid out all in front of me like that because somebody else has thought of it, it's going to make me think, well, of course, Britney's going to think of it too.
Especially if you are worried about Britney playing self-interested and to win the game. Alyssa seems like the only person that Britney really has a shot to beat in this house at all anymore. And so if she were then going for the win, she'd be potentially voting Taylor out here. And not that it is going to help her get to the final 2, but it could be the only person that really she has a shot even coming close to beating at the end. And so by getting Alyssa out here, she is effectively giving up the game. And I know that Britney has said multiple times, like, that's fine, I'm willing to get 2nd, 3rd place, whatever. But if she were truly interested in winning this game, I think her decision is a lot more questionable this week.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this pitch is that it is what Britney should do. Britney should vote Taylor out. She should pitch to Turner, let's keep Alyssa, and vote Taylor out, because the only chance in hell Britney has to win this game is sitting in the end with Alyssa. And she has a much better chance of getting to the end with Alyssa if Turner has betrayed Monty and they're willing to take the shot at Monty next week and she makes it to the final 3 there. She should do it. Turner should also do it. It's also in his best interests. It's in both of the voters' best interests to vote out Taylor. That is a dangerous place to be. I'm not saying that I think it's going to happen. I think Britney might think of it. She might pitch it. She might not also because, it's not really been her MO. I also don't think that Turner will go along with it, as we've talked about. Like, he is very much a follower. But if I was Monty, I would be very worried. I would be thinking Britney will pitch this, and I would be thinking, I think I have a good read on Turner, but I've also only really been closely working with him for the last couple of weeks. This is not like a long history of us being best buds, hitmen to the end together forever. I'd be worried. I would be worried if I was Monty. But we'll see.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are saying that getting Alyssa out is a mistake for everyone, including Monty. I don't know that I agree. I understand that she is the worst competitor, like from what we've seen so far. She has not won anything, but I never doubt anyone's ability to just pull out a random comp. Who knows what kind of comps are going to be coming up? Could just be a complete crapshoot. Alyssa wins. And then but also, if Monty were to end up in a situation either where he's on the block against Alyssa or where Alyssa holds that only vote, I think both of those are game ending for him. And I don't think that's the case with the combination of basically anyone else in the house. So getting Alyssa out makes a lot of sense for him.
Yeah, and ultimately, like, that's the thing. It is the weirdness of the situation is that, yes, if you look at everybody's best interests, which is usually a great way to look at, the game moving forward. Usually, I think it's better, though, in the first portion of the game. People do tend to make poor decisions later in the game. And so they're more open to making mistakes. And this is one of those situations where, like, yes, you can look at it from the perspective of, Vanessa, right? Like game theory, where's everyone's incentive? And their incentive is to, yes, vote out Taylor. However, given what we know, there's a very good chance that doesn't happen because Britney turning on Taylor just doesn't seem super likely. And Turner turning on Monty seems also very unlikely. The two of them working together seems even less likely at this point. So I do think that this is the right path probably for Monty. And if he does take out Alyssa, that puts him in a situation where he should almost be lock safe heading into the Final Four. It does put him in a scenario where his worst case position is Turner winning HOH, Britney winning veto, which is not the least likely outcome, but it is a very specific outcome. Pretty much any other outcome probably ends in him being fine at this point, unless Taylor decides to turn on him and keep Britney over him with a Turner HOH. But even that is not a guarantee. Is there a neater, cleaner path if he takes out Turner and he's in the Final Four with Alyssa, Britney, and Taylor? Yeah, if they actually stuck to their word and kept him around over Alyssa heading into the Final Three. But at that point, like, the incentives are so clear. It's just like, how in the world do you trust that not only will they stick to that, but there's a full week and a half until that moment where they have to decide what they want to do. And it's like, ugh, it's a long time to keep them holding to their word. And I just do not trust that they would, especially somebody like Britney, who we've seen proof in the past has been willing to not stick to her word to people that she is not best friends with. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Britney would have voted out Monty this week if she could, let alone at the Final Four. I have no doubt that she would be voting him out over Alyssa and especially over Taylor. So I think that definitely makes sense why he is very hesitant to do so. I understand that he has a much better shot at veto, or Taylor has a pretty good shot of keeping him in that house, I would say, still against Alyssa specifically. But should he end up on the block against Britney somehow, that is still going to be a tough sell.
Yeah. And the thing about, again, being there with Turner is that even if Turner does win that Final Four HOH, he has Turner competing in the Final Four veto as well. So if either him or Turner win that veto, he is still lock safe, assuming Turner doesn't turn on him, which also seems very unlikely if Turner has the ability to take out Britney at this point. I do believe he would, especially over Monty. Why would he want to go to the Final Three with Taylor and Britney? In his mind, both of them would take each other at that point, and he theoretically could have trouble beating either of them. Britney competing well in competitions lately, only 9 seconds behind Monty in the HOH comp, and then winning this veto 10 seconds faster than him, but still very competitive in these late game competitions. So he is concerned about her. No reason to think he would turn on Monty at 4. At 3, maybe, but not if Taylor's there, right? He's not going to take Taylor over Monty. So if Monty can lock in a Final Three of himself, Taylor, and Turner. I mean, whew, that's great. I don't see Taylor taking a risk of taking Turner over Monty. They're not that different in jury potential, I think, in Taylor's mind. And I don't see Turner doing the same. I think they'd both take Monty, and Monty would take whoever he wants.
Yeah, that sure would be a nice final three for Monty if only he could lock it in, give it a good alliance name this late in the game. Yeah, that would be nice.
Would be nice. Yeah. Would be nice if he did it at a decent hour as well. But, you know.
If only.
So Britney and Taylor are going to talk. They vent about Monty putting Taylor up. Monty's going to talk to Turner. He tells Turner about his conversations with Britney and Taylor. He also talked to Alyssa, but there wasn't really much going on there. Alyssa's also going to talk to Britney, but again, not much happening there. There is a missed opportunity here for Alyssa. I've been pretty lenient on her the last couple of times she's gone on the block because I do feel like she's been, put in a position where she is definitely disadvantaged, and she has actually done some decent things. Like that Women's Alliance pitch was a pretty good one, if anybody had listened. However, I do think she is massively dropping the ball this week in terms of just not throwing Turner under the bus. Her only chance of staying this week, I think, is if Turner goes up next to her. And she does not see that, does not recognize that Turner needs to go if she wants to stay. If she went to Monty and said, hey, so I was talking to Turner before the veto, and we were talking about how great it was that Britney was leaving, and then at the final four, we were going to take a shot at you so that we had a better chance of getting the final two together. Once we get to the final three. I don't know if you told me at the beginning of the week if I heard anything, I should let you know. I love Turner, but I just felt like I needed to let you know because I know you control my fate this week. Throw him under the bus, get him up on the block, send him home. Stay to 4, Alyssa. What are you doing?
Yeah, it is hard to learn the game at Final Five, so tough to start playing now. Let's just say, I don't know. She goes up and she's like, "I'm sad," and Monty's like, "Here's a tissue, bye." That's about the extent of the conversation. It sucks. You would hope that everyone at the Final Five is just playing top of their game generally, but it's just not the case here.
Yeah. So Monty talks to Turner. He tells Turner about his conversations. He says that Taylor is interested in a final three with the two of them. It's not exactly how I interpreted Taylor's, what she was saying in that conversation, but that's fine. They can all be gunning for Britney next week. It'll be great. Turner says, "Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd be down for that." And Monty's like, "Perfect. We should lock it in at some point. Maybe roughly 3 a.m., something like that." Brittany's going to talk to Taylor again later in the night. They talk about trying to convince Monty that Turner will betray him. They're trying to come up with different ways that they can still convince Monty to put Turner on the block. Taylor is going to do a little bit of it when she talks to Monty later. They talk more about the decision. Monty just says, again, I need Turner to be here for Britney to target. I need her to target him and not me. She says, "I just don't understand why you trust Turner more than you trust me." And he just says again that he doesn't think that Turner has any reason to take Taylor out. Similar conversations happening. I expect there'll be at least one more big pitch from Britney, maybe one more from Taylor, but maybe not at this point because Turner's going to join them. Taylor says, "Hey, while we're here, can we talk about this? If I go up on Monday, you going to vote to keep me, Turner?" He says, "Yes." She goes, "All right, well, that's good." He says, "I'm totally fine sending Alyssa home. I want the three of us to make it to the end. Are you with it?" She says, "Yes." And they all fist bump. And she says, I liked this better. She says, "We should name this Guys Girls." And they laugh. And Monty says, "2 dudes, 1 girl. Two guys, 1 girl." They're like, "No. And Taylor says, "You guys realize that this is shit that I'm signing up for, right? This is not good for me." And Turner says, "Yeah, and we love you for it."
Yeah. I wonder how she's gonna, if she's already realizing. Wonder how, she holds that veto, how she's gonna be thinking. But we'll see. That's a problem for a later date. Don't think about that right now. Guys Girl would be very funny. Throwing it in the face
It
of the
would.
girls. So that one I would not mind. Like, let's throw it back to week 1. But yeah, the alternative is messy, to say the least.
Yeah, Taylor. So Taylor talks to the cameras afterwards. She's like, "Man, I just got like swindled into making an alliance with the two guys. That's gonna guarantee me third place. That's annoying. I'm gonna win everything." She doesn't say she's gonna turn on them, but I would hope, you know.
Taylor has played like maybe the most loyal game of anyone in the house, like Joseph, but like otherwise, like one of the most loyal. So it has been not that like she's been given the opportunity to turn on many people, but I am still waiting to see like it's Final Four. Make that move. I have the ability in her, like the faith in her ability to like see the writing on the wall, and like I'm holding the veto. There's no other choice right now.
Yeah, and like, I mean, she was willing to turn on Michael, right? Like, if she has the chance to evict Turner, actually, she wouldn't have that chance. Yeah, because if she's holding the veto, and she's the eviction vote, then one of Turner or Britney has to be HOH. If she's HOH and holds the veto, then the decision would be, do I want to allow Britney to be the vote? Either way, you're still mostly deciding who's going to go home between who you're allowing to cast the eviction vote. She would have to the only way to get Turner out is if Britney wins the veto, or Britney wins HOH and she wins veto, or if she wins HOH and she nominates Monty and Turner, and if she wins the veto, she can keep Britney off the block, or Britney can win the veto and evict Turner. Either way, though, if she has the choice to evict either Turner or Britney, Turner, who is a great competitor and would take Monty to the end, or Britney, who is capable of winning the final 3 competition, but not super likely. But if she did, would take Taylor to the final 2, and Taylor would definitely beat her. You'd have to assume, right?
Yeah, that's the tough part. I think what is a little scary is, like you said, there's never going to be a situation where she's casting the vote between Britney and Turner, giving and like being like possible HOHs this week. So to get Turner out, she would essentially have to trust the only vote to Britney, and I don't know that I trust Britney to actually evict Turner in that situation over Monty. Being that she probably assumes that Monty and Taylor, like Monty at least would take Taylor to the final 2, where she could strike a deal with Turner to take her to the final 2. I'd be a little worried to give Britney that power, but at that point, like, also, what is the alternative? So.
Yeah. And also, like, I don't know. If I'm Britney, I don't know that if Turner or Monty wins that final 3 HOH, Britney's losing anyway, right? So like, why would she just like, if Taylor was like, I'm doing you a super solid here, I'm betraying Turner, I'm betraying Monty to let you have the vote, is Britney really going to turn around and be like, well, screw you because I'm taking out Monty in the hopes that Turner takes me to the final 2, so I get to lose to him? Like, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I do forget how much the third place incentive is versus the second place incentive. If the margin is wide enough, I could see Britney maybe taking that guaranteed second
Maybe,
place,
yeah.
but otherwise, I think you're right.
I mean, there's also the element of like, if Taylor does that, Monty may not take her to the final 2 anymore. Like, why would I hold to my agreement when you didn't hold to yours?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I take the slam dunk here in the final 3? But who knows? We'll see. That's about what I've got. Scally, anything that you wanted to bring up?
No, I would say that there is a little bit of growing tension in terms of Britney openly talking about how like she needs the money and why she needs the money, and people being increasingly frustrated, thinking she's bringing outside the game things into the game. Where like I don't even know that she's trying to guilt trip people. I think she's more so being like, this is why I'm okay with accepting second place, and why you can trust that I'm okay with getting second place. But it's definitely not coming off well for her inside the game.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's about what we've got. As of right now, Britney will use the veto on herself. Taylor will go up as the replacement. Both Turner and Britney at this time will be voting out Alyssa. We will see if Turner decides he has any direction of his own in the game and maybe tries to do something else. We will see if Britney comes to the conclusion that I did, that it actually would be a good idea for her to take Taylor out. But as things stand right now, it's looking like it is going to be Alyssa that leaves, and then we will head into the Final Four with Britney, Taylor, and Turner competing for the Final Four HOH. With Turner and Monty definitely gunning for Britney, with Britney probably gunning for Turner. She did say that if Monty didn't take the shot at Turner, that she would be willing to take the shot at Monty next week. But when she talked to Taylor about it, Taylor was like, "Come on, really?" Out of spite. And she's like, if Britney's if Taylor's there, I don't know that I really don't know that that Britney would do that. But either way, Britney probably going for Turner, maybe Monty, and then Taylor probably going for Turner, maybe Britney, but we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. It's very true. I don't know. Again, I never trust these house guests. I think that ultimately, if Britney's voting out Taylor, Taylor probably fumbled this week a little bit with Britney, but I think that she's safe. I think we're good. Let's not put anything out there. Knocking on wood.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. I'll, of course, be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother 24 live feeds. I don't expect we'll get like the veto ceremony today, even though the veto competition was so early. I think we're probably just going to have another day of waiting around. But we'll see. We'll see if anything changes. I'll let you know if anything shifts. If Alyssa decides to do something, she's got all day to realize that she needs to throw Turner under the bus. Hey, maybe even Britney has all day to realize maybe I should tell Alyssa to throw Turner under the bus because that might help. But either way, I'll be live tomorrow morning. Of course, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe, we've got another Sunday night episode of Big Brother 24. I'll be live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong, watching the episode live with all of you. And then after the episode, we'll be here on RHAP as a podcast to recap everything that goes down. I'll also be live playing some Goose Goose Duck today, so you can check that out as well over on Twitch. Check out the YouTube channel where I'm posting some Among Us videos, and I'll be posting the stream with Jacob Jones over there as well. Follow me on Twitter at Armstrong Taran and find all of the stuff happening over there. House of the Dragon is going to air tonight. And that's going to be fun. So I'll be doing the book club podcast over on post-show recaps soon as well. So check all of that out. Scally, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Brian_Scally. I am finishing up talking about the Challenge USA. This is the final week, talking about it over on the Doming Holland podcast. That's been a lot of fun to talk about. I will be on tomorrow with Rob on the Slop, so that should be a lot of fun. If anyone has anything, particularly messy in the world of Big Brother, send that over my way because I am curious to see. And then I will see you and everybody else over, you and Puya and everybody else that's streaming for Goose Goose Duck later today.
All right. I'm seeing some people say the episode might be at 8:30.
Yeah, that's the case.
That's annoying.
Yep.
If it's true. All right. Well, we'll find out. Either way, thank you all so much for joining us, and I will see all of you next time.